This video will show some basics of Microsoft Access report design, and I want to start by looking at a PDF. And this PDF is a bunch of pages. The most important thing though is it's multiple sections. So you've got your page header up here, you've got your more column headings of the page header, you've got group sections, so billable matters is a group, and it's repeated here in firm representation matters, so that's the same group. You've got multiple detail lines, so every one of these that has a matter is a detail line, and you've got some subgroups, some subtotals. The point there is that in the report, this detail line would only appear once in the report designer, and that's what I'll show you. So if we switch over to Microsoft Access now, this is the report design for what we were just looking at. And remember I mentioned a detail section. So if we switch back, you'll see that there's the matter, the client matter, the billing attorney. If I switch back to Access, you'll see here controls for the matter, an expression for the client, and the attorney. You don't have to worry so much about the guts, or you don't have to worry at all, I don't think, about the guts of what are in here. But you want to be able to apply different formatting and move these, what are called controls, around the report designer. So for instance, if I wanted this column to be shorter, thinner, I could grab hold of the handle and do that. So you might have used report designers in the past. If not, I can go into more detail, but I just wanted to give some basics about the controls within Microsoft Access specifically. And this is the version you'll have access to. It's version 2010 of Access. So as I mentioned, there's a whole bunch of different sections. Each one of these gray bars is a section. But I'm going to focus now on the controls and how you make changes to them. I've already done quite a bit of the formatting, but we've got a lot of these reports to apply the formatting changes to, and that's how I want you to help out. So let's start. I already showed you positioning. Let's talk about fonts and things like that, and show you how to change a font. So to change something, you can select the object and then find the controls up top. And most likely, your screen won't have this area up here, but it will have these tabs. So for font, you go to Format, and then you can pick the font you want. And you see how that changed. So I did install Frutiger on this computer. So that's how to change the font type. You can see you can also change the font size, the color, which I think we always use the same color, black. You can change the background, so if it needed a color in the background, but I don't think we have any background colors, so I undid that, by the way, with Control Z, which is the same thing as undo. Actually, I don't see an undo, but Control Z goes back and forth, and it remembers, kind of like Photoshop. Control Alt Z, back, back, back. If we wanted to move these controls, we can use the mouse, but that gets a little bit cumbersome. So this next section will show how to use the mouse to move things. So if I have an item selected, I'm pressing the up arrow right now, and that's moving the object up. If I press the left arrow, it's moving it left, down, and right. So that's how you can position things finely. You can see that it's moving a lot though. So if I want, I can hold down the control key, and while I hold down the control key, it moves less. So this is moving without the control key. I'll start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then if I hold the control key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see it moves much less. So control kind of minimizes it and lets you do it more precisely. If I want to increase or decrease or change the size, then you grab a handle, and you can see a handle is this box on the edge. There's handles on each of the four corners, and then in the middle top, lower top, and the side. Sometimes they're hard to access. Like if the control is really small, it's hard to see 9 control handles there. But you just get good at it, and usually grab the lower right one and then increase the size. But you can increase the size or change the size with the keyboard as well. So before I showed control to move, now I'm going to show shift If I hold down the shift key and press the right arrow, it grows. Shift key and the left arrow, it shrinks. Shift key and up, it shrinks to nothing. Shift key and down, it grows. Remember, control is used to do things on a finer level of detail. So if I hold down both control and shift, you can see that it shrinks more slowly. So I'll do the growing with the shift key without control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the shrink with the control and shift. You can see that it shrinks less quickly, or in a more finer level of detail. So that's how to do that's how to control things with the mouse and that's how to control things without the mouse, and how to increase and decrease size and change position. Next, we'll select multiple items, and this will be really critical for you to do things efficiently. So if I wanted to change all the fonts of the report, I could press Control A, and that selects everything. But that selects not only fonts, but images. I'm sorry, that selects not only these what are called text boxes, things that have information in them. It also selects logos and lines and things like that. It's hard to see lines, but there's one, for instance. You can see it just got highlighted. So in short, Control A selects everything, and sometimes that's too much. So if you want to select just a row of things, you can kind of drag and select part of them. See, I'm drawing a marquee, and when I release the button, it will indicate that all those objects are selected. So I might want to do the next section, or the next section. Now if I wanted to do all the sections, I could hold down the shift key. That'll remember what's selected, and then it becomes additive. That was by holding down the shift key. You can also hold down so the shift key selects contiguous things. So shift couldn't select this and this. For that, the control key for selection. So if I hold down the control key and press the mouse button, select, 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 select. And that's relevant, for instance, if you want to change all the formatting of a certain type of information. So if these things are all currency, but these are not, then you could do that to select. Or if I wanted to select every other column, I could do something like that. So that's how to select with using the control key to hold on to, or to keep whatever's been selected. And then you could deselect by clicking again and with the control key held. So this is with the control key held. If I don't hold the control key, then it doesn't do it. And for instance, I could move all these objects at once. So I'm kind of just throwing things at you randomly here, but the key there was the control key and how it can be used kind of as a sticky picker. Another shortcut, if you want to select a whole row, is put the mouse over here in the left-hand column and click, and I'm holding down the shift key. So you can see right there, that's an easy way of selecting all the information that you want, just the text boxes. And then, so let's say I wanted to change the font of all these. Select, 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 select. Then I could go to the font, change it to that, and you see they all got changed. Control Z to undo. If I wanted to change a whole column, I could, a width for instance, or bold a column. I could select the whole column. I'm holding down Control, and I could change the font, or I could bold it. And you can see every time you click it, it kind of toggles. So bold, unbold, bold, unbold, italic, unitalic, italic, unitalic. Typically, though, you'll be selecting things on a row basis, because, for instance, a whole row will be bold italic, or a whole row will be, I don't know. So select columns for width, etc. That's the basics on some screen recording, and it's been 10 minutes, so I'll stop it there.